Hello everybody, this is the first episode of a series I'm going to be starting where I show you how to play a certain dinosaur if you're struggling to find out what dinosaur you want to main blocky. The first episode is going to be on how to play the Undead Tyrant, aka the Z-Rex, aka Zombie Rex. I call it Z-Rex because that's really the easiest abbreviation you can do. Anyway, let's dive in. So starting off, one of the biggest things is after you've used your revive, you do not want to use your heavy because the heavy is going to reduce how much health you regain back, and it's actually going to make you lose health because you don't deal as much constant damage. So if you are you're using your revive at the moment, you don't want to use your heavy at all. You just want to keep attacking. That's what you want to do. Now, recently, Z-Rex has been known as, like, the slayer of sauropods, and I will talk about later how it literally is, like, if you want to do something to farm sauropods and get dino coins quickly, use Z-Rex and just kill as many sauropods as you see. But if you're up against, say, or a tier 3, or 2 tier 3s, you're just going to want to play as you would in Dom, maybe, just really any carnivore tier 3, except for, like, you're gonna wanna kind of be careful, because if you use your revive and they are far away, you're kind of cooked, because the revive problem with Z-Rex is that the revive takes so long to happen that you just can't, your enemies can heal up while you're really, while you just take your constant damage, and you can't really even do anything. The next thing is going against tier 5s and most, if not all, tier 4s. If you're going against a tier 5, such as Brachiosaurus, as you see I'm doing here, you're going to want to obviously not use your heavy, and you're going to want to wait until they do their big stomp, like I just failed to do. And you're going to want to play like you would an Indom. You're going to want to, until you have your revive, you're going to want to avoid every big stomp, because that'll just drag it out as long as possible, and possibly not even mean you have to use your revive, which is preferable, because then that means they might not have to, they might not gain dino coins. But of course, if they do kill you, you're going to want to obviously face tank them, because that will mean that you're gonna heal and they're not going to be able to do anything, because I don't know what it is called, but during the revive you heal with every hit you do. It's kind of like Bloodthirsty, but to a greater extent, and you just deal so much more damage. You can deal damage and heal yourself while also just taking on things, and that's the biggest thing with big sauropods, is that you can just heal while they can't do anything, and it's very efficient. And you can also do this strategy on things such as tier 4s, maybe not Yeti, because Yeti is like decently fast and can get away from your revive, but D-Rex and Apato, they have nothing on you, and you can very easily beat Yeti, or you can very easily beat Apatos and D-Rexes as Z-Rex. The thing that makes tier 4s and tier 5s like much easier to defeat as Z-Rex over things such as like tier 2s and tier 3s is that they are much slower, and when you're in revive you can't move at all, and they can just get away as much as they want, and they can start healing while you revive. And even though you don't have the speed reduction anymore because you're not at low health, it still is going to be hard to catch up to those tier 3s and still do the consistent damage. So that is why you're going to want to try to not have to use your revive when you're up against a tier 3 or tier 2, but use it as much as you can against tier 4s and tier 5s. Most of the time you might not even need to if you play right, and you just, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Now, the most difficult thing, or the thing that Yeti struggle or zombie struggles with the most, I found, was teaming or multiples of one dino, because like you're just not going to be able to, you're going to constantly be getting hit into those damage that you don't want to take yet, and it's not very good. And like, as you can see, I'm up against a Bracky and a Spinoraptor. And by the way, for some reason, you can't deal damage to Bracky and Titano, I don't think, either, during your revive, which is very weird. You can do it with every other dino. So, that's just very odd. And as you can see, the Spinoraptor just comes in and deals extra damage. And it's very weird. Like, it's very hard, because then you either have to chase something down and you could probably die, or you're just gonna not heal as you would want to, or like you're not gonna heal and you're gonna die, or you're just gonna get ganged up on and deal more damage than you can take, or you can heal back and revive, and it just isn't very good at all, and it sucks, and it's very annoying. Now, if you're up against a tier 3 in a 1v1, then it's going to be, once again, you're not going to want to use your, you're going to want to try to avoid using your revive, and so basically, you're going to want to make use of your knockback moves, which is going to be your LC3 and your LC2, which the LC3 is one of the best moves, I would say, because it gives you insane range and whatever. Anyway, that's going to be it for the first episode on how to play a dinosaur in Jurassic Blocky. If you guys enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. You don't have to. That's perfectly fine with me. But if I get a ton of subscribers after this, or it gets a ton of views, which if it does, I will make another. Or if I just enjoyed making this, which I kind of did, and I'll just make another on the whatever somebody wants in the comments. Whatever you want, top comment in the comments gets to be the next video on what dinosaur I do, or review how to play. Anyway, see you next time, and goodbye.